let's see. The Santa Fe Pacifics are going to be sending out, and defensively for the good old Santa Fe's, Johnny Bakakis will start in left field with the outfield defensive player of the year from 2015, Zach Pace, in center field, who on Tuesday night, opening night here, made one of the great catches in Pacific's history in right center field, reaching over the wall and robbing a Pittsburg Diamond of a home run. And I mean, he robbed him. He was way over the wall. It was a controversial play because on the play, when the runner at second base was deemed to have stayed on the bag, although every fan in the house thought that the runner had left early. As Zach Pace made a brilliant catch out there against the wall, threw it in, and everybody thought the Pacifics had a double play. As it turned out, that was the top of the first inning, and the Diamonds scored the one run. The Pacifics came right back in the bottom of the first with a grand slam by Gillespie and a 7-run bottom of the frame to answer that controversial call. So Zach Pace in center field with fan favorite Michael Hoba over in right field. Jake Taylor at third base, just his second year with the Pacifics. And the hero of the 2015 championship game, Danny Gonzalez at shortstop. Chase Tucker will start tonight at second base with Brett Gillespie over at first. Mark Lindsay will start behind the plate. And the big veteran, Patrick Conroy, last year's opening night starter, Conroy will start on the mound. And here's Allie with some information on Patrick.
So Conroy has been here for 3 seasons. It is his 3rd year. He was named the 2014 Pitcher of the Year. He played a couple years on the Kansas City Royals Farm Club. His fastball can reach between the low, high 90s, and some of his prime pitches are his fastball, his breaking ball, and his changeup. So
Patrick Conroy is one of those guys. It just seems like you can count on day in and day out. Conroy's been around the area for quite a long time, a College Marin guy. As Ali mentioned, Kansas City Royal guy. Back to that, the line on Ellis. Well, we know that there is no line on Ellis because he hasn't pitched yet this year, and that was why we couldn't find anything on Ellis, the ex-Pacific. Matt Cavanaugh is out with Aaron Miles, the manager of the Diamonds. Cavanaugh, of course, the manager of the Pacifics, out there going over the ground rules with tonight's umpiring staff. And we are only moments away from baseball from downtown San Rafael. Fans, you're watching San Rafael Pacific's baseball, the 2016 campaign, right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 Pacifics. Very excited to be with you, Stuart Horn and Alyssa Peterson on Marin TV. We'll be right back with the first pitch. So the sun, as usual here at Albert Park, right in the eyes of everybody over on the left field side, including Conroy, who's, I see he's sporting some serious facial hair. They're out on the mound as he takes a quick breather and gathers himself. So everybody over in left, that's Bakakis in left and Taylor at third, Gonzalez at shortstop, and Pace in center are really getting a taste of the bright sunlight. That should only last about 30 or 40 minutes. Here's Jordan Hinshaw, batting .353. Hinshaw, the leadoff batter, and we are underway with a fastball up and in for ball one. 7:13, time of the first pitch, and a 66-degree start. Conroy working quickly. The big lefty with another fastball, and he lays that in there 1-1. Kiriakos on deck, and he'll be followed by Rich Mejia. But for now, it's the veteran, Jordan Hinshaw. 1 home run, 4 RBIs. Hinshaw, one of those guys, seems to be on base a lot. In fact, Allie probably has his on-base percentage here. Right-handed batter. Hammers one to short. Gonzalez on the hop. Wings it over to first. And a nice grab by Gillespie. He digs it out. And quickly, Hinshaw is gone. 6-3. One away by the new first baseman, Gillespie, who backhanded it out of the dirt. Gonzalez had to kind of wait back on that one, Allie. And, you know, when you have to wait on it instead of charging into it, it's much more difficult. They talk about the ball playing you instead of you playing the ball. But there was no way to run in. Well, here's a guy you might recognize. This is David Kiriakos, part of the Pacifics team the last couple of years. Kiriakos takes a fastball across the knees. Strike one. Kiriakos traded in the offseason to the Diamonds. Was here a couple nights ago to accept his championship ring from yours truly. As the Pacifics were good enough to allow me to MC opening night on Tuesday. And
I heard that was crazy.
It was fun. It was really a big night, and I got to hand out the championship rings. And one of them went to this guy, Kiriakos. Kiriakos takes on the outside black, and now it's 2-1. Rich Mejia's on deck, one away here in the top of the first inning. Pacifics and Diamonds, rubber match. Downtown San Rafael. Kiriakos stands in. Oh, a slider comes in from an entirely different arm angle as Conroy went kind of a slingshot off the left side of the mound. Swung on and hacked foul, 2-2. Kiriakos batting 185. 3 RBIs. Very high, and it's full. Well, Alyssa's here alongside, and she's a Dominican student as part of the Pacific's outreach with CMCM to get budding broadcasters a chance on the air. Here's the payoff pitch. And apparently it wasn't the payoff pitch. Now it's full. I missed one, Allie. That happens. Hey, it's opening night. Things are rusty.
Everyone's jumping around.
First night on TV.
Yeah, my first night on TV.
Here it is, 3-2, and Kiriakos lifts one. Shallow center, and it drops in front of Zach Pace for a base hit.
That was a perfect place to hit that ball. That was great placement on
Kiriakos. So the first hit of the night goes to David Kiriakos. And here's Rich Mejia. He just caught it right off the end of the bat. You know, another half inch out on the end would have cued foul, perhaps. But Kiriakos bloops one into center, and here's Mejia with a man on and one down. Strike across the knees, a perfect pitch. Mejia batting 269. Is behind in the count, 0-1. Couple of RBIs for Mejia with the big slugger Mike Taylor on deck. Conroy looks a runner over at first and delivers 1-1.
Very low ball.
We'll probably get an angle of the new scoreboard out in right field, and it's a beauty. That was donated by the local Iron Workers Union 551 in the offseason. And a fastball is high, 2-1. And it is something to behold, especially if you ever got a chance to see the old scoreboard. The new one is just really, really easy to read, has a ton of information. Mejia's back in there now, ahead in the count, 2-1. Conroy looks the runner. That's Kiriakos over at first and delivers indoors, 3-1. The Diamonds would love to somehow get Mejia aboard ahead of Taylor and then Williams. Although Taylor has not been hitting the ball well, he's capable in a big way, and he walked him. Well, there you go, Allie. 2 runners on ahead of your cleanup batter. And this is not setting up well for Patrick.
I think Conroy needs to get his head into the game, focus on what he's doing, and take that leadership over the team and really put the ball in place.
Totally agree. And now the Pacific's catcher, Mark Lindsay, is going to take a walk out and have a quick word with Patrick. A pretty good crowd on hand tonight. A Thursday night game. Quite a few people here. The St. Isabella people on hand to sing that national anthem. That was beautiful. All right, here we go. Conroy, the big lefty on the mound. The big slugger, Mike Taylor at the plate. 2 on, 1 away. First pitch. Popped him up. Right field, Hova's under it. He comes in. Now he backs up. Hova's got it. And a quick throw in. Hova to third base, not in time. Kiriakos slides in safely. And the sacrifice by Taylor works. So Kiriakos gets all the way over to third base on the play. Mejia to second. Taylor pops out on a fly ball over to 9 for the second out. And with 2 away and 2 runners in scoring position, here's Brandon Williams. Williams batting .219 coming into tonight. .227 over the last 7 days. Takes upstairs, ball 1. 1 home run for Williams. A couple of RBIs with Isaac Valdez on deck. Taylor at third, Gonzalez at short. Tucker at second, and Gillespie at first. Conroy looks a runner back, and Williams fouls it off his ankle. That's got to feel good, Alyssa.
Looked like it felt great.
Now, I noticed that the scoreboard says it's 0-2, but I have it 1-1. That first pitch, I think, was a ball. Well, there's our new scoreboard. How about that?
It's a beautiful scoreboard. Very clean.
The old one was literally 30 years old. Here's a 1-1. Chopper up the middle. Who's going to get it? Tough play for Gonzalez. Off speed, off balance. Got him. So Gonzalez, by just a half a step, is able to get the ball there ahead of Brandon Williams on the 6-3 putout. And the side retired.
That was a great turn and throw right to first. It almost would have missed it if he had taken a couple seconds to kind of get himself into place and then throw. But with him turning, I think he was able to kind of place himself and throw that ball right in time and able to get the runner.
Well, here we are, folks. Alyssa and I, yours
Hello.
truly, Stuart Horn. Great to be with you here at Albert Park. Well, at the end of the first half inning, no runs on 1 hit, no errors. Coming up for the Pacifics, it'll be Zach Pace, Daniel Gonzalez, and Jake Taylor. Bottom of the first coming up, no score on CMCM's coverage of the 2015 Pacifics. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the bottom of the first inning. Zach Pace takes the first pitch low for a ball, 1-0. Pace, Gonzalez, and Taylor here in the bottom of the first inning. Curveball is upstairs, and that's called a strike, 1-1. Okay, hey, baseball is a beautiful thing, producers. Zach stands in from the left side. It's 1-1. Oh, and a breaking ball just falls in across the knees there, Alyssa. And that was a beautiful pitch. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes against Zach Pace, the center fielder and the defensive outfielder of the year, just last year. I think he won it in 2014. In fact, I'm positive, 2 years in a row. This from Rob Ellis, the big lefty, is bounced in at about 52 feet, 2-2. Not sure if that was a breaking ball or what that was, but I think he was going after Pace to try and put him out. Zach is not a guy, however, that you can strike out. He's batting .133, coming in 3 for 8 with just a single stolen base. 5-year guy for the Pacifics. Pace takes in the dirt, and imagine that, the count runs full. And I say imagine that because Pace's on-base percentage is just under 400. Here's a full count, and he lifts one, center field. Backing up on it is Jordan Hinshaw to his left, and he makes the grab, 1 away. Well, Allie, Pace gave that one a ride.
Great catch on that ball. I think Ellis really needs to learn how to kind of put those balls into his zone because, as you saw, a lot of them were balls that were barely making it into the strike zone. So I think he really needs to be able to get his head into the game and place those perfectly into the strike zone.
Well said. 1 away. Here's Daniel Gonzalez. Just his second game back. Danny, the hero of the 2015 final game. He actually hit a line drive up the middle and gave the Pacifics the championship on that hit. Score was tied at the time, and Gonzalez got it done, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. In the offseason, Danny pulled an oblique muscle, and he's been slow to come back. However, he hammers this one to center field. Hinshaw's back, and he's got another one, 2 down. Well, 2 batters, 2 long fly balls to center, but Ellis has managed to keep him in the park. Here's the big fella, Jake Taylor. Taylor has filled a lot of holes for the Pacifics, I'll tell you. They needed a power guy, but more than anything, they needed a guy at third base. Over the last 4 seasons, the Pacifics have been through so many third basemen. Gosh, I go all the way back to 2012 when it was Hammer and Henry Calderon over there at third base. But Taylor has had such sure hands. Chase Tucker on deck, 2 down. Bottom of the first inning, no score. A fastball on the outside part of the plate. Strike 1. Taylor batting .324 coming into tonight's action. .345 in the last 7 days. 1 bomb, 7 driven in. 3-hole batter. Taylor. Look at how big and bad this guy is. Up and away. He's just bigger than any other player on the field.
He definitely stood out to me on the field the last inning. Very tall.
Yeah, he's a big guy, and he's just totally imposing at the plate. And I have a feeling that Rob Ellis is going to want to stay away from him, although the line on Taylor is to pitch him away. I have no idea where the... Okay, this is fouled back. No, it's not. It's fouled into right field.
Close.
And it's not even foul.
Close
and
to no cigar.
And Jordan Yellen is able to back up on it. Ultimately make his way over to the right. And put it away. So, 3 up, 3 down, the Pacifics go in the bottom of the first inning, leaving the cleanup batter Chase Tucker on deck. As we go to the top of the second inning, for the Diamonds, it will be Isaac Valdez, followed by Ian Hagenmiller and Jordan Yellen. Now, this is the first AB for these 3 guys. So Conroy still has the advantage, having not been through the order yet. Top 2 coming up, no score on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 Pacifics. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Top of the second inning here on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. Isaac Valdez, the batter, swings at a fastball from the big fella, Patrick Conroy, and is behind in the count. Conroy has one slip out of his fingers, and Lindsay throws out a new ball. It's 1-1. No score here in the top of the second. It'll be Valdez, followed by Ian Hagenmiller and Jordan Yellen, as Valdez waves at a fastball.
He was swinging on that one.
He certainly was, 1-2. Well, that's the thing about Conroy. He's so deceptive in that when he does throw the high fastball, it looks so hittable that these guys swing as hard as they can, and they're nowhere near it. And it's the mark of a great pitcher. 1-2 now. Conroy upstairs, 2-2. How about a new ball? No, he might have to rough that one up. No, he's working pretty quickly here. Conroy wearing 44. That's Henry Aaron's old number. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball. Lindsay has to lean to his left. I don't think that was a bad pitch. I think it's the way that Lindsay accepted the throw, to tell you the truth, that may have thrown our umpire off. We're waiting on the names of the umpires right now, but the count is full. 3-2, top 2, no score. Valdez batting .200.
His on-base percentage is .250.
Fouled down the first base line, and we'll do it again. The 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up. So he's on base, .250. He's batting .200.
Not too shabby.
Here's Valdez, fisted towards second. Tucker's got it, 1 away.
Very fast.
Well, Conroy delivered a fastball up and in on Valdez, who caught it right off the fist. And here's Ian Hagenmiller, the DH. Hagenmiller, 1 RBI, batting .267. And you'll notice, fans, that he has that protective apparatus on his left ankle. And that's to protect from the foul ball. Just a beauty from Conroy, had Hagenmiller guessing, and guessing wrong.
The sound on that was beautiful, hitting the glove.
It really was. You can tell a great pitch. And the good pitchers can really get a snap out of that catcher's glove. That's a good call, 1-1. Jordan Yellen on deck. Hagenmiller's first year in the league. Has yet to strike out. Upstairs, 2-1. One away here in the top of the second. Community Media Center Marin back on the air. Every year with the Pacifics. It's great to be back with you, folks. Foul ball toward Jane's First Base Cafe. And just out of play. 2-2. And just like any baseball stadium, Melissa, those foul balls are dangerous. You got to keep an eye on the area of play.
Yes, especially with that sun, too.
That's a good call, 2-2. Up and in, and Hagen Miller spinning back out of the way. Well, that's just the way he's been taught ever since he started in Little League. It's true. Turn away from the fastball that's up and in. Now another full count. This the third full count that Conroy has gotten himself into tonight. Breaking ball and got him. Hagen Miller goes down swinging, 2 away.
It's funny because my mother taught me to take one for the team instead of spinning.
Yeah, and those fastballs, those softballs, I should say, while they're softballs, there's nothing soft about them. They hurt.
Oh, they leave a good welt.
So 2 away here in the top of the second, and here is Jordan Yallen. Yallen, his first game in and his first at-bat.
This must be very exciting for him.
It's got to be. And as far as I know, his first professional at-bat. Takes a ball with Thomas Scholl on deck. Yallen ahead in the count is now doubled it up, 2-0 against the big veteran left-handed, hard-throwing Patrick Conroy. There's Conroy, high atop the hill. Clean-shaven last year. Very different look now. 2-0. Outside black, taken 3-0. I don't know where it missed. Boy, that would look like a good pitch to me. Pacific's in the field. Lindsay behind the plate. Bakakis in left, Pace in center, and Hoba in right. Here's the 3-0. Fastball right across the belt, taken 3-1. Yallen looked like he was taken all the way. Home plate umpire tonight is Ricky Gonzalez and Paul Case out on the field. Yallen stands in. Conroy doesn't want to let him get away. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and fouled right side toward Jane's First Base Cafe. And the count is full for the 4th time tonight. Wow. You look at Patrick Conroy with his incredible command. And then here we are in the second inning, and he's already run it full. Now this is the 4th time. And he's going to need to be a little tighter with the pitches, and he walked him. Second base on balls issued tonight by Patrick, and here is Thomas Scholl.
Batting ninth for Pittsburgh. Second baseman.
The third base runner for Pittsburgh. 2 away here in the top of the second inning. And there's our new scoreboard. In that wide view towards Southern Heights. Scholl in the 9-hole, batting .263 with 1 bomb, 3 driven in. First time he's had a chance to see Conroy tonight. Runner at first. And a little slide piece is taken. Strike 1. Top of the order on deck in Jordan Hinshaw. McConroy would like to get back to the dugout right here. Up and in, 1-1. There it is. Look at that thing. What a beautiful, marvelous spectacle it is. You know, in minor league baseball, a new scoreboard is it's huge, right? There are some things
compared to the field.
There are some things that are very exciting in minor league baseball, and one of them is a brand new scoreboard.
That scoreboard.
Fastball is swung on and missed. 1-2 now. Conroy, one more pitch away. And he got him with a changeup. Well, Conroy.
That was quite a swing.
It was a big swing. He really had him twisted up. Conroy was able to strike out 2. No walks. No hits and 1 walk. As we move to the bottom of the second inning. And the Pacifics, who went down 1-2-3 back in the first, will be sending up their 4, 5, 6 batters. And that makes sense. If you go down 1-2-3, it makes sense you're going to be going 4, 5, 6 next.
Yes, that's true.
4, 5, 6 will be Chase Tucker, Michael Hoba, and Ricky Gingras when we come back. Bottom two, no score. Stu and Alyssa, CMCM's coverage of the 2016 Pacifics. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Chase Tucker at the plate for the good old San Rafael's. No score, one ball on him. As Ellis, the lefty, kicks and deals low, 2-0. Tucker is batting .419 but .462 over the last 7 games. Three RBIs for Tucker, and he swings and lifts one. Right field on the move is Yellen, and he's able to grab it. One away, and a spectacular grab by the right fielder, Jordan Yellen. Here's Michael Hoba. Good old Hoba. He has announced that this will be his final year in professional baseball. And Hoba is one of those guys who agrees that baseball is a beautiful thing. The right-handed, gentle Cuban stands in and takes up and away. Gingras is on deck. Hoba, breaking ball, up and away. Power hitter is Hoba. If you go back to 2012 when he was the MVP of the league, Alyssa, Hoba had a 37-game hitting streak, if you can imagine such a thing. That's a lot of hits.
Yeah.
And a breaking ball, just a little low, 3-0.
Just looking at him, you can tell he's a very big power hitter for the team.
Yeah, and Hoba's been doing better lately, batting .222 over the last few games. Takes a fastball across the knees. 6 driven in, looking for his first bomb of the year. Hoba, one of the leaders in the league in home runs back in 2012 and 2013. 3-1. And it's torn into left field, and there's no way Williams is going to get to it. That drops in front of Williams in left, who throws it in quickly to Kiriakos, and Hoba's the first base runner for the Pacifics and the first hit of the night.
What a great way to start the inning with that placement of that ball out in the outfield.
Hoba's power area these days is right down that third base line. And Mejia plays so far off the bag at third base, there's just a wide open hole. Here's Ricky Gingras with a man on and a man down. Second-year man with the Pacifics, Gingras from the left side, takes a fastball across the knees. A delayed call from Ricky Gonzalez behind the plate, strike one. Mark Lindsay's on deck. Hoba at first base. Unlikely to try and steal. Just a very moderate lead at most. This in the dirt. Blocked by Isaac Valdez, and Hoba stays at first. 1-1. Mark Lindsay's on deck. The Pacifics might have a little something going here in the bottom of the second. No score with Michael, the runner, at first. Gingras, the designated hitter. Hands high and a breaking ball. He swings right over the top. And it's 1-2. Gingras, who's the starting catcher for the Pacifics, just going to DH tonight, take a little breather, get out of the squat, and he swings a one in the dirt.
Looked like he was golfing right there.
It really did, and in fact, he swung on the pitch and missed it, and for a moment it was live, but actually that's not true because Hoba, occupying first base, cannot move. So Gingras has gone on a strikeout, and there are 2 away. Here's Mark Lindsay. Just for a moment there. Whenever I see a batter swing at strike 3 and it gets away from the catcher, I always get excited as Lindsay takes a fastball upstairs. 1-0.
When I played, I would hold my breath.
Yeah. Brett Gillespie's on deck, everybody, in the bottom of the second. Lindsay batting 111. And he takes a delayed call on a strike, 1-1. Just his 4th game now. So Lindsay, the last chance for the Pacifics here to move Michael over. Hova away from first, and he waits on a breaking ball. 1-2. Ellis is really kind of fallen into a groove now, Alyssa, as he's throwing more consistently, but really mixing up the pitches nicely.
Yes, you can really see what happens when he really puts that ball right in the zone and puts a good location on it. He really is on and he's in the zone when he does that.
Soft toss over to first just to let Hova know that he's thinking about him. Lindsay stands back in. Here's the 1-2. Low and away. 2-2. There's good old number 10, Michael Hova, the gentle Cuban. One of the most decent young men I've ever met. In fact, I was part of the procession of his wedding last year, Alyssa. It was right here on the field.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was great. Hova was gracious, and it was a great day as the Pacifics allowed Hova to be wed right here at home plate. And, in fact, our manager, Matt Cavanaugh, presided over the ceremony. The power vested by the state of California in Matt. And Hova had some nice remarks afterward. Here's the 2-2. Fastball away, and it's a full count to Mark Lindsay. When Hova was married, it was just before the start of the game, and it was a sellout crowd because he was getting married. And they gave Hova the mic, and he said, "This is the happiest day of my life." And the next fastball is ripped into left field, and it drops right in front of Williams. And Lindsay delivers a single and keeps things going. And here's Brett Gillespie with Hova at second and 2 down. First bona fide opportunity for the Pacifics to score a run. All Gillespie did on opening night was hit a grand slam for his very first professional home run 2 nights ago, and he hit it just about over our brand new scoreboard. It was a little bit to the left of it, but it was a bomb, a no-doubter right off the bat. That was just 48 hours ago. First pitch is taken. Low and away, ball 1. Gillespie has 2 home runs on the season, one of which a grand slam. 6 driven in, batting .233, 280 over the last week. There's Mike Cal. Hova sporting a beard this year. We all are. Fastball is taken, and the appeal to our field umpire, Paul Casey, says no swing. 2-0. So Chase Tucker started things off with a fly ball to left. Hova with a single to left. Tucker with a fly ball to right. Hova with the single to left. Then Jingus with a strikeout. Oh, and a big breaking ball to Gillespie is taken. And that was a beauty. That was about as good as they get. Just a 12-6 off the table curve ball. That was old school. Just a ton of bite on it. 2 down, 2 on. Ellis working quickly. Another breaking ball. Fouled first base side. 2-2. No score here in the bottom of the second. But the Pacifics are threatening with Bakakis on deck. First time through the order. The advantage definitely to the Pacifics' ex-Rob Ellis. Curveball. Ooh, missed upstairs. That's a great angle we get from CMCM center field camera. And that looked very, very close. There's that angle. You can see everybody. Look at that. Gillespie takes away, and he walked him. Oh, no, he didn't. Yikes. And the breaking ball is called a strike by Ricky Gonzalez, the home plate umpire. And so Gillespie goes down looking. And he not only fooled Gillespie, but he fooled yours truly. I didn't expect that at all. Well, we have 2 complete, everybody. The Pacifics had a couple of hits there, but no runs to show for it. We're going to go to the top of the 3rd inning, and it will be the top of the order for the visiting Pittsburgh Diamonds. Jordan Hinshaw David Kiriakos, Rich Mejia, top three coming up on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Top of the third inning. Stuart Horn, Alyssa Peterson, your CMCM Pacifics telecasters for the 2016 season. Patrick Conroy up on the hill. And we are in the top of the third inning. The batter is Jordan Hinshaw, his second at-bat. And the count is 1-1. David Kiriakos is on deck. And this is hammered over to short. Gonzalez up with it. And a soft toss to first. Gillespie's got it, one away.
Fans, remember to bring your wristbands.
Here's Kiriakos. Why do you recognize that name? Well, if you followed the Pacifics the last couple of years, Kiriakos has been a part of the last two championship teams. Kiriakos joined the Pacifics in 2013, and in this offseason, moved over to the Pittsburgh Diamonds. Kiriakos, 1 for 1 on the night, a single into center back in the first, squares to bunt, and pulls up, takes high, 1 ball on him. Kiriakos batting 185, but 200 over the last 7 days. 3 driven in, and he takes low, and now it's 2-0. Rich Mejia's on deck. We are in the top of the third inning. Game moving along pretty quickly. It's 48 minutes old. And 2 in the books, no score. Kiriakos takes across the knees with a fastball. 2-1, and he would like to have that one back, I guarantee. Once in a while, every once in a while, a good pitcher will throw one right down the middle just to make you think, oh my gosh, why didn't I take a whack at that? But now you see Conroy will stay away forever. 3-1. Breaking ball was high. I don't think he meant to be that far out of the strike zone on that last pitch. 1 away. Conroy working quickly. Chop back up the middle. Going to be a very tough play. Scooped up by Tucker on the way in time. Woo.
Chase Tucker handling a tricky hop.
Great play there by the Pacific's new second baseman, Chase Tucker. 2 down. This is our new feature where the camera slides across the field at 5,000 miles an hour. It's called the new roller coaster effect. All right. 2 down with Rich Mejia standing in. Mejia wearing those hose very high. Takes inside black, strike 1. Mike Taylor, the big slugger's on deck. Mejia batting .269 coming in, and just a big, funky, loping curveball is taken for strike 2. Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there out of Conroy. Here's the 0-2 upstairs. Going to climb that ladder a little bit. Conroy did not want to go downstairs for Mejia to give him anything to swing up on. Mejia, no home runs, but has a lot of power. And he hammers one to Gonzalez at short. Thrown up the line. Grabbed by Gillespie. Tagged Mejia as he went past him. And a tremendous play by Gillespie at first to get Mejia running up the line. And Conroy gets him 1-2-3 as Mejia goes down 6-4. Well, how about that? That's quick work out of Conroy. We'll go bottom of the third inning, everybody. And coming up for San Rafael, Johnny Pikakis will face Rob Ellis for the first time. And then the top of the order in Zach Pace and Daniel Gonzalez. Alyssa and I will be right back with the bottom of the third inning. No score right here from San Rafael on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 Pacifics. Welcome back, everybody. Johnny Pikakis stands in and takes a breaking ball from Rob Ellis. And it's a called strike from our home plate umpire, Ricky Gonzalez. We're in the bottom of the third inning as the camera pans back from one of the overhead light standards and a chopper towards short. Kiriakos has it on a high hop, a hard throw, and it gets away from Taylor at first. Kiriakos did everything he could, and Taylor simply muffed it. And Bakakis, I should say, is aboard. And I'm waiting how the official scorer is going to score, but I can't imagine that's a hit.
For your Pacifics, center fielder, Zach Pace.
And apparently it's a hit. How can that be? I can't imagine how that's a hit. But Bakakis is aboard with a single. And here is Zach Pace, who his first time up
Your attention, please. I need Lucy
hit a fly ball out into center field for an out. And that was to lead off the Pacific's bottom of the first. He'll be followed by Daniel Gonzalez and then Jake Taylor. Bottom of the third inning. Pace is nailed in the left hip, or maybe it was the right hip. I couldn't really see where it got him. But Pace is aboard, and Bakakis moves to second, and that's exactly what the Pacifics needed. Base runners. Here's Danny Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the hero of the 2015 championship game, who's been fighting an oblique strain over the last 2 weeks. Playing in just his second game tonight, squares, and he bunts one third base side and just foul, and that would have been a perfect time to lay one down. Alyssa, that would have gotten the base runners for the Santa Fouls.
Yes, it would have. It would have been able to advance that runner. Maybe even advance the runner at first also, depending upon how they played that out.
Well, I think that was the idea, was to sack everybody over minimally. However, it went foul, and here's the 0-1, and Ellis spins, and he's going to think about things. Taylor is on deck. Last time up, Gonzalez with a fly ball to Jordan Hinshaw in center field. That was back in the first inning. Ellis with a long look. Looks Bakakis back to second, and it gets away from Valdez, and everybody's going to move up.
So it wasn't the bunt, but
No, it was a breaking ball in the dirt. Valdez tried to back it up, backhand it. There's a shot of, that's Johnny Bakakis, the base runner, who's facing us, and away from us is Pacific's manager, Matt Cavanaugh. So Gonzalez will stand back in as everybody has moved up. 1-1 is the count. Valdez had to go out and talk to Ellis. I think they got crossed up a little bit on the call. Bakakis, the runner at third. Pace, the runner at second. Nobody out. Ellis to Gonzalez, and it's taken away. And Danny's ahead in the count now, 2-1. We're in the bottom of the third inning, everybody. No score. Pacific's threatening. Jake Taylor on deck, taken away, 3-1. Gonzalez, just one of those guys that tends to deliver. This would be a good time to do it. As you can see, just a little bit of sunshine left on the field now. 3-1 delivery is right across the belt. A full count now out of Rob Ellis. Stuart Horn and Alyssa Peterson with you. And I notice you sound a little stuffed up.
Yes, it's my allergies.
Well,
it gets to me.
Yeah, I've never heard that out of you before. You and I have done a lot of radio together. But trooper time. Gonzalez hammers one over to third. Mejia scoops it up onto first. No one can advance, one away. Well, Gonzalez hit it hard, but Mejia over at third base was able to wait a moment, look Bakakis back, and here's Jake Taylor. Taylor with a fly ball to Michael Hoba.
Hey, folks, are you thinking about buying
Not to Michael Hoba, but to Jordan Yellen.
Do you need a local raised in Marin?
Taylor wouldn't hit one to Hoba. He's on the same team. He hit it over to right field, though, to Jordan Yellen back in the first inning to end things as the Pacifics went down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. And here we are in the bottom of the third inning as Ricky Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, is going to go out and break things up as the Diamonds were having a
powwow.
They were having a powwow out there on the mound. Yeah. Here's Jake Taylor. And if you're going to have a powwow, it's when there's 1 away, 2 on, and the big slugger, Jake Taylor, who's batting .345 over the last week, .324 overall. 7 driven in this year in just 7 games, and 1 home run. Sporting that, it's a pretty healthy mustache he's got there. Isaac Valdez wants to go out and talk to Ellis about things before they take on Taylor. Because you got Taylor, then you have Tucker, the 4-hitter, and then Hoba. So the Pacifics with the 3, 4, 5 batters in the middle of the order, pretty strong power-wise. Tucker, of course, who's on deck batting .462, that's all. But right now it's Jake Taylor. .345 over the last week. Way back in the box. Breaking ball in the dirt. Valdez jumps in the way of it. A new ball comes in. 1-0 on Taylor. The thing about Taylor is not only is he big and bad power-wise, but he's also pretty fast. He's got a couple of stolen bases already. 1 home run from the right side. Taylor waggles, and here it is. Low and away, 2-0. Bakakis, the runner at third. Zach Pace, the runner at second base. 2-0. Ellis slows things down, and he stays away, 3-0. Oh, right there, Alyssa, I noticed that Ellis kind of dropped the shoulders, and he's not a guy who gets down on himself. He's Rob Ellis, really a consummate professional. But he looked like he was having trouble locating the ball. And you don't want to have that kind of trouble against Jake Taylor. Here's the 3-0. Walked him. Bases loaded. For your number 4 batter. 1 away. Bags jammed. And here is your cleanup batter, Chase Tucker. 3 RBIs. Tucker is batting .462 over the last 7 days. .462. That is pretty impressive stuff. Michael Hoba's on deck, 1 away. Ellis. A fastball is away. Pacific's no runs on 3 hits. Just 1 hit for the Diamonds. No errors by either squad. Chopped toward third. Going to be a tough play. Ellis comes off the mound. He cannot make the play. Everybody's safe. Chase Tucker delivers an RBI single. Pacific's lead, 1-0.
Now batting for your Pacifics, right fielder.
Johnny Bakakis scores on the play. And here's Michael Hoba. Pace to third. Jake Taylor to second. Chase Tucker now delivers the RBI. Hoba stands in against Ellis. Breaking ball is hammered right side. Popped way up. Taylor can't get it. And it falls foul. And not by much. That was right there. You had Taylor and second baseman Thomas Scholl converging. But, when the ball's in that no man's land out there just over the first baseman's head, it's almost impossible to get to. So just a dramatic strike against Michael Hoba. Ricky Gingras is on deck. Hoba stands in. Bases loaded. In the dirt. A fastball is taken 1-1. Hoba with 6 driven in, batting .222 over the last week. 1-0, San Rafael leading here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Hoba way back in the box. Holds the bat in front of the catcher as always. Nothing has changed in the last 5 years of play. And he hammers one. Third base side, just foul. Hoba goes foul right side, then left side. He may just be starting to zero in. Hoba 1 for 1 on the night. A single He blistered into left field, just in front of Brandon Williams back in the second inning. And he tips one just foul.
You can tell he really wants to put that ball in play because he keeps tipping it off into foul territory.
1 run on 4 hits for the San Rafaels. 1-2 now to Hoba. There he is, high def Michael. I like the look. Gingras on deck. 1 away, and here it is. And he just gets one past Zach Pace at third base. He got it right between Pace, the runner, and Matt Cavanaugh, the manager, in the third base coach's box. Here comes the 6th pitch of the at-bat against Hoba. Bases loaded. Ellis working quickly. Oh, and he got him on the breaking ball. Hoba swung as hard as he could, but right over the top, 2 down. Here's Ricky Gingras, the designated hitter.
Batting for your Pacifics, designated hitter, Ricky Gingras.
Well, can Ellis get out of this with just the minimal damage of 1 run? Fastball is taken, and Gingras ahead in the count 1-0. Lindsey's on deck. Well, the Pacifics have had the bases loaded for the most part here in the bottom of the third. But just the 1 RBI by Chase Tucker. Then the strikeout by Hoba. 2 away, Gingras stands in. Chops one first base line. Scooped up by Taylor in time. Gingras goes down 3 unassisted. 1 run on 2 hits. And the Pacifics will head back out to the field. In the top of the 4th inning, it'll be for the Pittsburg Diamonds. Mike Taylor, Brandon Williams, and Isaac Valdez, the 4, 5, 6 batters. And the Pacifics lead 1-0. Top 4 coming up. CM's coverage of the 2016 Pacifics. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are in the 4th inning, and the Pacifics lead by a score of 1-0. Stuart Horn, Alyssa Peterson with you. There she is, my trusty sidekick over to my right. And we are ready for Mike Taylor. Taylor fouls one first base side, and it whacks the top of Jane's first base cafe. And we're back underway in the 4th. 1-0 San Rafael. It'll be Mike Taylor, Brandon Williams, and Isaac Valdez for the visiting Pittsburg Diamonds. There's Patrick Conroy. Fastball is taken upstairs 1-1 to the big slugger Mike Taylor. Sacrifice back in the 1st inning for Taylor. And this is popped straight up right side. Gillespie's got it at first, 1 away. So just a quick 3-pitch out for Patrick Conroy to get Mike Taylor, and here's Brandon Williams. Williams with a grounder over to Gonzalez back in the 1st inning. That ended things as the Diamonds sent 5 in the 1st. 1 away. Curveball taken for a strike. And Williams has no idea what he just saw. I think he was sitting fastball, Alyssa, and he was just completely confused. And rightfully so. This is fouled back to the screen. Quickly, Brandon Williams behind in the count, 0-2. Williams has belted 1 long, couple of RBIs, batting .227 over the last week, .219 total. Valdez on deck, 0-2, and Patrick comes in from the side. Taken 1-2. Things cooling off considerably, Alyssa. Very warm when we got started.
Yes, I put on my jacket.
Yeah, it's about that time. Big curveball, and this is popped up. Pace coming in center field, dives for it, and Pace did not get it. He caught it on the short hop. Pace came in as hard and fast as he could, but couldn't catch up to it. And the Diamonds have their second hit of the night, thanks to Brandon Williams. Here's Isaac Valdez. Pacific's 1 run on 4 hits. Pittsburgh with 2 hits now, looking for their first run of the night. And the first pitch is hammered into left field by Isaac Valdez. He absolutely got all of it. And consecutive base knocks brings Ian Hagenmiller to the plate. So Williams moves over to second base with 1 away. And Hagenmiller, who struck out last time, back in the second inning, makes his way into the hitting area. That's Williams in the foreground, you see, at second base. And a slider from Conroy is taken for a strike. Hagenmiller, the DH tonight, batting .267, 1 driven in, and this the earliest part of the season. Only the 3rd home game for the Pacifics. Their home opener, San Rafael, that was Tuesday night. Conroy looks Williams back and then makes his way back to the top of the hill with Jordan Yallen on deck. Hagenmiller stands in, takes a big hack, and fouls it away off of the shin guard of Mark Lindsay. 0-2. Top 4, 1-0 San Rafael. Hagenmiller behind in the count, 0-2. As the Pacific's ball girl comes out and replenishes Ricky Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, with a bunch of new baseballs. Conroy, up and in, and had Hagenmiller spinning out of the way.
That was very close.
If you know, from this angle, it looked like it. I thought it clipped him, but obviously it didn't. 1-2. It might have been Hagenmiller back in the second that you and I talked about how he spun away from it.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2, also indoors.
He's really trying to scoot him back.
Well, 2-2. So what do you think's coming? You think he's going to get him low and away on outside black? Is that what he's looking to do?
I believe so.
Could be. 2 of them indoors. Here's the 2-2 from Conroy. He did. He went outside on him. And either way, Hagenmiller was able to drive it into left field.
That was a great hit.
And he chopped it over there, and everybody's held up. So I think that's a break for San Rafael as Brandon Williams turned third, but was held up by Aaron Miles. Isaac Valdez stopped at second base, but Ian Hagenmiller drives it into left field for the 3rd consecutive base knock for the Pittsburghs. And here's Jordan Yellen with the bases loaded and only 1 out. Yellen in just his second game. No, his first game. His second at-bat. He walked his first time up. Thomas Scholl on deck. Fastball taken. A little bit up in the zone, but not bad. Do I have that right? Is this his very first game? I think it is.
I think it is too.
Yallen from the right side is going to take a big, deep breath. Big moment in his professional career. Only his second professional at-bat. 1 strike on him. Breaking ball is up and in. 1-1. I mean, you look at guys who have an opportunity, right? Gillespie on Tuesday night, his very first professional home run. Grand slam in front of a sellout crowd on opening night. So Yallen has an opportunity to do something big here, and he fists one. First base side and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Yellen in the 8-hole. Thomas Scholl is on deck, but Conroy's in a hole himself. Conroy Conroy would like to strike Yellen out. The play is at home, though, on a ground ball. Here's the 1-2. Got him. Woo. Little slide piece, and Yellen's gone. 2 down.
I felt that over here.
Yeah, that was.
Swing.
Yeah, he swung really hard at it, but the break on that slider was intense.
It was.
Well, you've got Brandon Williams, the runner at third. Isaac Valdez, the runner at second. Ian Hagenmiller, the runner at first base. And here's Thomas Scholl. 2 down, bags jammed, top of the order on deck. Scholl batting .263. 1 home run in the season. Swung on a breaking ball in the dirt. 1 strike on him. Well, Scholl's up there hacking, Alyssa.
You could tell the guys are really trying to bring in that runner and get a number on that board.
You're not kidding. 1 strike on him. Top of the 4th inning, fans. Here's the 0-1. Indoors, 1-1. Conroy on the mound. Scholl the batter. .263 batter. 3 RBIs driven in this season for Scholl. From the right side, a closed stance. Sets the bat on the shoulder. Now it's high. Here's the 1-1. Another breaking ball in the dirt and another swing through. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, there's a recurring theme, Alyssa, as Scholl has swung on 2 breaking balls, both in the dirt. That puts a lot of pressure on the Pacific's catcher, Mark Lindsay, but so far he's doing a great job. 1-2, bases loaded. Statement moment in the game. Conroy, here it is. Up and in, taken 2-2. Conroy doesn't want to give him anything to hit. Certainly not there with a 1-2. That was not the time to throw something down Broadway. However, 2-2 and everything changes. Here it is. Got him with a breaking ball. Scholl swings right through it, and Conroy gets out of the jam again. Holy cow, 3 consecutive hits, and Conroy does not give up a run. Bottom of the 4th inning, everybody. For the Pacifics, it'll be Mark Lindsay, Brett Gillespie, Johnny Bakakis, the 7, 8, 9 batters for San Rafael coming up. It's a 1-run ball game. Bottom 4 coming up on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's Mark Lindsay. Rob Ellis back out on the mound, the big left-hander. 1-run ball game. And the first pitch is taken low. 1-0. Lindsay batting .111 in just his 4th game. And now timeout is called by Isaac Valdez. Just wanted a moment, I think, to straighten things out. Ellis deals in the dirt. 2-0. Lindsay 1 for 1 on the night. A single to left. And back in the 2nd inning. Here we are in the bottom of the 4th inning with Brett Gillespie on deck. Lindsay from the right side, a first-year man with San Rafael, and Ellis needs another moment to rethink things. Lindsay will step out, adjust the batting gloves. There's Gillespie in the BMW on-deck circle. Breaking ball is poured in there. Perfectly 2-1. There's a nice wide shot of the field, just San Rafael's Albert Park opened in 1950. Another breaking ball is taken. 2-2. And Ellis is dealing those breaking balls, Alyssa.
He really is. You could see that the batter was definitely looking at the third base coach, shaking his head at those things.
Chop third base side, scooped up by Mejia at third. On to Taylor at first, and Lindsay is gone, 5-3. Here's Gillespie. Well, as I mentioned, Gillespie with a grand slam on opening night on Tuesday night. His first professional home run was a bomb over the right field wall. And he hit it about 9 miles, maybe further. I mean, it was out of here. But it was a grand slam. And here he is batting .280 with 2 bombs, 6 driven in. First pitch is swung on in the knees and missed. Or fouled, not missed. For a strike. 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Gillespie, as I mentioned, batting .280 over the last 7 days, .233 overall coming into tonight's action. And Ellis deals a looping curveball, and it's fouled third base side, not a play. 0-2. Johnny Bakakis is on deck. Last time Gillespie was up, he went down in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Oh, Alyssa, I missed what happened to Gillespie. I was talking, and now Gillespie's gone.
He got a hit, foul territory, and it was caught.
Ah, very good. Must have been caught then by Mejia at third. At any rate, there are 2 down. I usually don't miss them. I've got this beautiful monitor in front of me, which is, it's great, but I can't see anything over it.
It's huge.
It's huge. So I'm sort of conflicted. I've never had such a beautiful monitor, and yet I got to get it lowered somehow. Here's Bakakis, who's behind in the count, 0-1. He squares to bunt and takes high 1-1. So, to have an HD monitor is one thing. It's fantastic. I just got to find a new place for it. Zach Pace is on deck. 1-1 to Bakakis. And he swings at a breaking ball, and Bakakis grabbed that left shoulder on the follow-through. And that's not something you like to see. I don't know if that hurt. It looked like it hurt a little bit. Bakakis batting .316 with 1 driven in over the last 7 days. Ellis looks into Valdez and waves off the first pitch. And a fastball is taken. 2-2. Well, the Pacifics had a lot going there in the bottom of the 3rd. They only had 1 run to show for it. Seemed like they had the bases loaded the whole time. Breaking ball is chopped foul third base side. And we'll do it again. 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Johnny Bakakis. You can see the newly painted clubhouse store in the background. So much work in the offseason done here at Albert Park, including that new scoreboard. There's a breaking ball, third base side. Scooped up by Mejia. Long throw in time and got him. And that was a big league style play out of Mejia over at third base as Bakakis goes down 5-3. The Pacifics in the 4th go down 1-2-3. And Ellis is still throwing pretty hard, looking pretty strong. We'll go top of the 5th inning where it's a 1-run ball game. And the Diamonds will be sending Jordan Hinshaw, David Kiriakos, and Rich Mejia, the 1-2-3 batters, as we go top 5. 1-0 San Rafael leading on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back, everybody. Patrick Conroy back out on the mound. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Leadoff batter Jordan Hinshaw stands in. And quickly is even in the count 1-1. It'll be Jordan Hinshaw, David Kiriakos, and Rich Mejia here in the 5th. There's an HD look at good old Jordan Hinshaw. Been around for 4 or 5 years now. Hinshaw's played with several different teams and takes indoors 2-1.
The whole love-hate thing with the HD.
Yeah, well, yeah, so the last couple of years, we've had a little tiny monitor here, which was tough to see. And now this big, beautiful monitor, it's really quite spectacular for those of us here in the CMCM telecast booth. Fouled back to the screen. And it's 2-2 to the leadoff batter, Jordan Hinshaw. Hinshaw batting .353, but .400 over the last week. 4 RBIs and one bomb. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Kiriakos on deck. This is popped. Shallow left. And under it is Bakakis, 1 away. Here comes David Kiriakos. Yeah, Hinshaw just missed it. The prevailing wind here at Albert Park is over the left field wall, where the American flag is just moving lightly, just a bit of a breeze, not enough to affect a ball either way. I would say just 2 or 3 miles an hour maybe. Here's Kiriakos with 1 away. Curveball is taken up and in. 1-0. Rich Mejia's on deck. Kiriakos 1 for 2 on the night with a single back in the first inning. There's something off speed taken. 2-0. Kiriakos the last couple years with the Pacifics. Got his championship ring Tuesday night in the opening ceremonies. Takes a fastball, 2-1. But for those of us who have been around the Pacifics for the last few years, it's strange to see Kiriakos in any uniform other than a San Rafael Pacifics uniform. Taken indoors, 3-1. But Kiriakos traded in the offseason to Pittsburg. Gets the start every day, and he walked him. And that's great for Kiriakos, who likes to play. I mean, these guys like to play. So if they get a chance to go to a different team and start every day, well, there's no thinking about it. Here's Rich Mejia. Mejia walked back in the first inning, is officially 0 for 1 on the night. And he chops one back to Conroy, who's going to have to go to first. And Conroy, who's out in front of the mound, scooped it up. And a 92-mile-an-hour fastball over to the covering Brett Gillespie at first base. Mejia with a sacrifice moves Kiriakos over to second. 2 down. Here's Mike Taylor.
Number 5, Mike Taylor.
There was no other decision that Conroy had there, Alyssa, as once he came off the mound, there was no way he was going to get Kiriakos.
You could tell with that throw. That was a fire throw over to first base.
Yeah, it really was.
He had his mindset before the ball was even hit.
Like to take this opportunity once again.
I see Mike Taylor, who's come out to bat, and Taylor with a sacrifice back in the first, a fly ball in the fourth.
They're here with a contingent of friends tonight.
But now I'm looking over it. I just noticed Jake Taylor, the third baseman for San Rafael. I'm not positive, Alyssa, but is he wearing a helmet? We might have to check it out. First pitch is swung on, chopped back in front of home plate. Picked up by the Pacific's catcher, Mark Lindsay. And he got him. So Kiriakos moves over to third. Oh, wait a minute. What's going to happen here? No, it's called foul. So as it turns out, Taylor just with a strike. It hit the front of the plate. Brandon Williams is on deck. I thought it was going to be an easy out for the good old San Rafaels. So Taylor stands back in, 1 strike on him. Kiriakos back to second base. Conroy looks him back. Fastball is upstairs. Woo! And that had to be 90 plus right there. Conroy really humped up, 1-1. That's the hardest fastball he's thrown all night. Taylor stands in, and Conroy kicks and turns back toward Kiriakos at second. Nobody holding Kiriakos on. Infield way back. Taylor, the big slugger, stands in. 2 down. It's a 1-0 ball game. Swung on a breaking ball. And it's 1-2. Conroy's ahead in the count with the 5-hole hitter Brandon Williams on deck. Conroy asks for a new ball. And Ricky Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, tosses one out. Well, here's a statement moment. Kiriakos in scoring position at second. A huge lead. Taylor, the cleanup batter, stands in. And now Lindsay wants to have a discussion with Conroy. And I think it's a good idea, Alyssa, that these two guys get on the same page for this moment. Because what Conroy wants to do right now is get back to the dugout.
Yes. A very crucial moment for him.
Taylor with the hands very high now. Here it is. Breaking ball is hammered third base side. Scooped up by Taylor in plenty of time. And Jake Taylor with just another great play as Taylor comes off. And Taylor's not wearing a helmet. In fact, those are his glasses. I just wasn't sure.
For a minute, I was confused as to what you were talking about because I could kind of see the reflection.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see the reflection near like the top of the helmet.
Exactly. Yeah. That was hard. So Taylor gets Taylor, and Conroy gets out of it. And we'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning, where the score remains 1-0. The Pacifics will be sending up their 1-2-3 batters in Zach Pace, in Daniel Gonzalez, in Jake Taylor, the guy who just made that great play over at third. Good old Jake Taylor. Pacifics lead this one by a score of 1-0 when we come back on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. Be right back. Well, welcome back, everybody, in the bottom of the 5th inning. While we were away, Zach Pace came up and quickly hammered one towards second base. It was scooped up by Thomas Scholl, but on the play, Mike Taylor had to come off the bag. So Pace is aboard for the second time tonight. His first hit of the night. And here's Daniel Gonzalez. Gonzalez takes 1-0. Jake Taylor's on deck. But here in the 5th, the Pacifics, who lead by a score of 1-0, already have a base runner on in Zach Pace. This is chop center, dropping for a base hit right up the middle, and Gonzalez delivers a base hit. And for those of you who were here for the championship game last year, the shot up the middle for Gonzalez looked a lot like that hit right there. So Gonzalez whacks the second pitch he looks at for his first hit of the night. Here's Jake Taylor with 2 on and nobody out. Consecutive knocks for San Rafael against Ellis. And Isaac Valdez is going to go talk to Ellis right now. Taylor sporting that mustache, looking like a movie star out there. Taylor batting .345 with 1 home run and 7 RBIs. That's all just in the last week. Batting .324 overall with Chase Tucker on deck. 2 on, nobody out. First pitch, third baseline, and foul. Well, you got the heart of the order here, Alyssa, and if the Pacifics are ever going to do some damage, I would suspect it's about now.
The 3 power hitters coming up.
Taylor, Tucker, and Hoba. 3, 4, 5 batters. Taylor quickly becoming a fan favorite. Popped him up. Second base side. Scholl backs up, calls everybody off. He's got it. 1 away. Here's Tucker.
Now batting for your Pacifics, number 9, Chase Tucker.
Tucker batting .462 with 3 RBIs over the last week. That goes to show you a good pitcher, Alyssa, Rob Ellis. Shows you how good he is. Gives up a couple base knocks and then gets a number 3 batter who's on fire to pop up in a crucial moment. Ellis spins on the rubber and then wants to look Zach Pace back to second base. Nobody covering over at second. Pace with a gargantuan lead. This is chopped over to short. Could be 2. Underhanded by Kiriakos on the back end. Not in time. So Pace is at third base. Gonzalez gets stood up at second for the second out. On the underhand by Kiriakos. 6 to the covering 4. And here's Michael Hova. Tucker reaches on a fielder's choice and is at first base. Hova 1 for 2 on the night with a single in the second, a strikeout in the third. Has Zach Pace at third base with 2 down. Up the middle, and Hova delivers! First pitch, and Michael swats it right across the second base bag. Pace scores. It's 2-0 San Rafael. That moves Tucker over to second base. And here's Ricky Gingras. Gingras looking for his first base knock of the night is over 2. Valdez and Ellis out there having a discussion. So still 2 out as Michael Hova delivers the RBI straight up the middle. Gingras with a bomb and 3 driven in, 316 over the last weeks, waves at a breaking ball. 1 strike on him, Mark Lindsay on deck. Ellis bent over, looking into Valdez like he can't see the sign. And another breaking ball is swung on and missed by Gingras, and that had him way off balance. 0-2. .308 overall for Gingras this season, but trending upward with that 316. Gingras behind in the count, 0-2. Another breaking ball is check swing. Ricky Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, looks to Paul Case, the field umpire, and Case says no swing. 1-2. So 3 breaking balls in a row, and Gingras finally got the message. There's Hova at first. Michael at first. Chase Tucker, the runner, at second, and he got him another breaking ball. And Gingras just could not catch up to it, Alyssa, after all of that.
Those were 3 amazing breaking balls, and he swung at every one of them.
Pacifics in the bottom of the 5th, 3 hits, 1 run. They leave 2 runners, but the Pacifics keep chipping away. And after 5 complete, we'll go top 6. Brandon Williams, Isaac Valdez, and Ian Hagenmiller coming up in the top of the 6th for the visiting Pittsburgh Diamonds. It's a 2-0 ball game right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Brandon Williams, the batter. Oh, she's okay. No problem. Williams stands in against Patrick Conroy, and a fastball is waved at and missed. 0-1. Williams is 1 for 2 on the night with a single back in the 4th. Stranded at third base with Valdez on deck. The fastball is taken. 1-1. Williams with 1 home run and 2 RBIs, batting .227 over the last 7 days' work, .214 overall. Conroy comes up and in. 2-1. Williams batting in the 5 hole, against Conroy. And he hammers one center field. Pace to his right, can't catch up to it. This goes all the way to the wall, and it's rattling around. Around first and on his way to second is Williams. He takes a big turn at second and retreats back to the bag, and he opens with a double for the Pittsburgh Diamonds. First extra base hit of the night tonight, Alyssa.
He put great placement on that ball right there. Enough to kind of shake up the Pacifics a little bit with that hit.
You're right. He not only hit it hard, but he hit it a long way, and then once it hit the fence, it was just rattling around like there's no way to, you don't know what it's going to do out there.
Exactly.
That's the cool part about it. The ball's live, and here's Valdez, and he fists one, and it fouls off of the helmet of Mark Lindsay, the catcher for San Rafael. And I always say, if you want to be a big league catcher, you're going to get whacked around a little bit. And these guys never complain, But they get, I don't know if you've ever done any catching. I've done a lot of catching. And you can't get through a game without a couple of dings. Valdez behind the count, 0-1. Hagenmiller on deck. The runner, Brandon Williams, at second. Nobody out. And a high fly ball. Left field. No, nobody can see it. And Gonzalez lost it, as coming in was Bakakis. But in fact, I think that wind blew it back toward Danny at short. Gonzalez lost it in the lights. And everybody's safe. Williams had to stop at second because he figured the ball would be caught, right? Valdez is given a single, and back-to-back hits brings up Hagenmiller.
You could see as that ball was still in the air, shortstop and second base started looking at each other, shaking their hands like, I can't see it, or who's got it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. All of a sudden, Gonzalez had his hands to the sky. Where's the ball?
Yeah.
Hagenmiller stands in. Conroy looks Williams back to second. Fastball is taken upstairs, 1 ball on him, with Jordan Yallen on deck. Well, all of a sudden, Conroy is in trouble again. Nobody out. 2 runners on. It's a 2-0 ball game. And another fastball is swung on and missed. And all of a sudden, Conroy looking pretty strong with that one. 1-1 now to Hagenmiller, who is 1 for 2 on the night. Breaking ball is waved at and missed. 1-2, and that was nasty. Conroy's looking like $1 million so far, to tell you the truth. He's gotten himself in a couple of tough spots, but so far, he's weaseled his way out with great pitching. Can he do it again? And now Conroy just wants a quick breather. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ian Hagenmiller, the DH. 267 hitter in the 7-hole. From the right side, Conroy looks Williams back. Oh, Trek swing, and he went around. And Hagenmiller's back to the bench. 1 away. So here's Jordan Yallen now, who is officially 0 for 1 on the night with a walk and a strikeout. And Mark Lindsay is going to want to take a walk, and here comes the Pacific's pitching coach, and let's find out what's going on here. It's like Ryan DeJesus wants to have a word with Patrick Conroy and ask him how he's feeling. To tell you the truth, Conroy is not looking too bad to me. I know he's in a tough spot. Conroy's usually good for, he's really good for about 80 pitches. I don't know that he is really good for 100 pitches, but he's usually really good for about 80, and he's got to be approaching that number. That was a good strikeout, though, against Hagenmiller. He's got the 8-9 one-hitters coming up. And here's Jordan Yellen, who, as we've been talking about, has had less than a handful of professional at-bats.
Now batting for the
In
Diamonds,
fact, maybe less than that.
number 1, Jordan Yellen.
So Yellen from the right side approaches the hitting area with 1 down and 2 on. Williams the runner at second, Valdez the runner at first. Fastball is upstairs, 1-0. Yellen has yet to get a batting average. Conroy working quickly outside, very narrowly missing the hitting area. Well, for some reason it says 1 ball and 2 strikes, but I am certain that that's not right on our brand new awesome scoreboard. In fact, I'm certain the count is 2-0. And now it's 3-0. And now it's on our awesome scoreboard. Everything's straightened out. 3-0 now to Yellen, who walked back in the second inning. There's that new scoreboard. It doesn't look that blurry in real life. And a fastball is poured in, 3-1. And Yellen was taken all the way. Thomas Scholl is on deck. And there's a good shot of Brandon Williams at second base. Conroy behind in the count, 3-1. Here it is. Outside, he walked him. And now the bases are loaded. And Conroy's really in a jam. With 1 away
Now batting for Pittsburgh,
and only a 2-run lead.
Thomas Scholl.
Thomas Scholl comes in, the 9-hole hitter. Thomas Scholl, 0 for 2 on the night with 2 strikeouts. Thomas Scholl batting .263 with 1 bomb. And now we've got a break in the action. And this gives Mark Lindsay another opportunity to go out and talk to Patrick Conroy. And there they are. Conroy's the guy without all the catching gear on, although they had switched positions. I think most people probably guessed that. So Lindsay heads back behind the plate. There's Paul Case, the umpire, in the foreground on the right side of your screen. And I'm not sure exactly why Thomas Scholl had to go back to the dugout, maybe to get a new bat. Or,
For the Diamonds,
oh, it's a pinch hitter, that's why.
13, Andrew Rubalcaba.
Well, here's Andrew Rubalcaba, a big, bad left-hander who's been a thorn in the side of the Pacifics over the last couple years. And Alyssa will probably have the numbers on Rubalcaba as the first pitch is taken for a ball.
Rubalcaba is hitting an average of .304 with an on-base percentage of .370.
Well, that's why they subbed him for Scholl. So Scholl struck out in the second and the fourth, and at the last second, before the first pitch to him was thrown, they subbed in Rubalcaba, who's come in with the bases loaded and now is ahead in the count 2-0.
On top of that, he has 1 home run and 9 RBIs.
Well, there you go. Rubalcaba, who was a big part of the Pacific's loss last night, I should say was a big part of the Pittsburgh win last night, right here at Albert Park, takes a fastball 2-1. And after a couple of funky pitches, including the walk to the previous batter, Jordan Yellen, that was a good one. So here in the top of the 6th inning, Rubalcaba comes in, and a breaking ball is taken outside, 3-1. Big curveball out of Patrick, who's now up against the wall. 3-1 from Conroy. Rubalcava, the big, bad, slugging lefty, stands in. Fastball is fouled out on the Anderson drive, and it's a full count. What else do you want, Alyssa? You got a full count, bases loaded, only one away, the big slugger standing in.
The pressure is on for sure.
Here we go. Conroy's back out there. The long look into Lindsay. Rubalcava, wide open stance. Timeout called. And wouldn't you know it, Rubalcava wears number 13.
My lucky number.
Here it is. Chopped. Oh, no, and it was muffed by Gonzalez wait a minute. Gonzalez didn't muff it. Tucker grabbed it, stepped on second, and threw it over to first base for a double play. Rubalcava had every opportunity, and it looked like it got away from Gonzalez at short. But as it turned out, Chase Tucker was right there to scoop it up and throw a seed over to first base, where Gillespie was waiting a double play to end it. Holy cow, are you kidding me? Conroy gets out of it. That is a 6-4-3 inning ender. And the Pacifics, that was an incredible moment. And for the San Rafaels in the bottom of the sixth, it'll be Mark Lindsay, Brett Gillespie, and Johnny Bakakis. It's a 2-run ball game here in San Rafael. We'll be right back with the bottom of the sixth inning on CM's coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. Bottom of the sixth, 2-0 San Rafael. Horn and Peterson together again. Alyssa is here as part of the Pacifics and CM's association with Dominican University of California.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and she is interning as a communications broadcasting person and doing a tremendous job. Her very first night on television. You're really doing a great job. Here's Mark Lindsay, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you're welcome. And I know CM and the Pacifics and Dominican appreciate your hard work preparing for all of this and being here. Lindsay takes ball one. Pacifics lead 2-0. And Ellis still throwing hard, and it's 1-1. The way that the top of the sixth ended was so bizarre because it looked like the line shot from Andrew Rubalcava was going to get away from Danny Gonzalez, and somehow Chase Tucker put it together, stepped on second base, and threw over to first for that double play. It was really something else. Hey.
Good night, Tim.
Tim Lacoste, the head women's basketball coach from Dominican University, has just been recognized here. That's kind of cool. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lindsay. Lindsay looking for his first hit of the night, officially 0 for 1. No, check it. He's 1 for 2. He had a single into left back in the second inning. Takes very high, 2-2. So he's looking for his second hit of the night. Brett Gillespie is on deck. This is chopped foul first base side. Sounded like he broke his bat. I'm not sure. 6 pitch of the at-bat coming up, though. That I am sure of. 2-2. Score remains 2-0. San Rafael leading this one. 2 runs on 7 hits. 6 hits for the visiting Diamonds. No runs to show for it. Lindsay. Long fly ball center field. Diving for it is Jordan Hinshaw, and he makes the grab. Hinshaw with a great play. And you can see on that wide shot that center field here at Albert Park is a softball diamond. And it's never easy for center fielders out here. And that was a great play by Jordan Hinshaw, one away. Here's Brett Gillespie. There's that wide shot, and you can see out there in center field. Gillespie squares to bunt, third base line. Here's the throw, not in time. And the throw from Rich Mejia airmails the first baseman, Mike Taylor. And the loose ball allows Brett Gillespie to get over to second base.
That was great placement on that bunt. Right down the third base line. It stopped dead right in the middle. And with that overthrow, it allowed him to advance to second, which is what they need.
So the bunt gives a single to Gillespie, and the error allows him over to second base. The error is on Rich Mejia, the third baseman, on the throw. Here's Johnny Bakakis. Bakakis 1 for 2 on the night. A single and a run scored back in the third inning. Zach Pace on deck. First pitch swinging. Long fly ball, right field. On the run, Hinshaw at the wall. He reaches up and he's got it. Another great play by Hinshaw.
They're really making him work for it back there.
You're not kidding. Hinshaw's getting his laps in tonight. Here's Zach Pace. 2 down, everybody. Another fly ball to center field. I go all the way back, Alyssa, to the first inning. The very first 2 outs of the game. Both were fly balls to Hinshaw. One by Pace, one by Gonzalez. Since then, he's had a couple more. Here's Zach Pace, 2 down. Runner at second. Breaking ball is taken for a strike. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, everybody. It's a 2-0 ball game. Daniel Gonzalez is on deck. Pace with a fly ball in the first, then he was hit by a pitch in the third, takes up and away. 1-0 as the ball gets away from Valdez. Well, I think it's 1-1. The gigantic scoreboard has it 0-1. But that last pitch was over his head. There we go. Now they switched it, 1-1. Pace then with a single and a run scored in the 5th. His 4th at-bat of the night. Taken low, 2-1. Pace had a slow start. He was 0 for his first 21 in this season. Although during that time, his on-base percentage was well over .380. But then he got that first base knock, and he's been pounding it around pretty good. This is chopped towards second. It's going to be a very tough play. In on it is Scholl, and he's able to make the play. So Pace just barely out. He's a very speedy runner. But Scholl with a fine play is able to get Pace 4-3. 1 hit on 1 error, and the Pacific's lead remains 2-0. As in the top of the 7th, it'll be top of the order with Jordan Hinshaw, David Kiriakos, and Rich Mejia when we come back on CMCM's continued coverage of the 2016 Pacifics. We'll be right back. Top 7. And we have a new pitcher for the Pacifics.
Sensational plays last inning. Number 4, Jordan Hinshaw.
And the new pitcher is Monzo. And Alyssa will have the line on Monzo in just a moment. The first pitch, though, from Monzo to Jordan Hinshaw is swatted off of Hinshaw's left ankle. He fouled it off of his ankle, and that looked so painful. The line on Monzo,
His ERA is 5.40. He has an on-base percentage of 429.
Well, hold on now. Let's talk. So Monzo is 0-1 with 1.2 innings pitched. He's given up 1 earned run, a couple of hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. So Monzo is a gargantuan right-hander. This guy looks to be about 6'4" or more. And while he's very tall, he's not all that slender. A lot of times these real tall pitchers are real thin guys, but this Monzo is built. This is the first time I've seen Monzo, if you couldn't tell. And up against Hinshaw, he's ahead in the count 0-2, and he got him on the fastball. The check swing, and Hinshaw's gone, 1 away. And we're going to say he went looking, because he never really swung at it. And here's David Kiriakos. Oh, Hinshaw was not happy with that. And, you know, when a leadoff batter goes 0 for 4, they are always pretty disgusted with themselves. And that's exactly what Jordan Hinshaw's done tonight. Pacific's lead 2-0. Kiriakos stands in. Slider is taken for a strike, and that was a beauty. Rich Mejia is on deck. Kiriakos, 1 for 2 on the night. He with a single to center in the first. And he chops this one over to Gonzalez at short, who boots it, and Gonzalez with an error. And that's something you don't see out of Daniel very often. That was right. That was right in the wicket, but he just couldn't hold on to it. And Kiriakos is aboard, an error on Daniel Gonzalez. And here's Rich Mejia. So Kiriakos, the runner at first base, thanks to the E6. And a fastball is taken low. 1-0 to Mejia. Mejia reached in the first inning on a walk, and then a grounder to short in the third, a sacrifice in the fifth, and here we are. As this is chopped to first, picked up by Gillespie, who steps on the bag and throws it away. So he stepped on the bag to get Mejia for out number 2, and then they had Kiriakos in the pickle, and he just chucked it right over the head of the covering Daniel Gonzalez from short. So Kiriakos now to second base, and here's Mike Taylor. And I can't tell you how surprised, Alyssa, that I am to see Gillespie just heave that thing over the head of Gonzalez. When you got an easy pickle like that, and they don't get easier than that. Here's Mike Taylor. See if the Pittsburgh can make the Pacifics pay for that sloppy play. So while that cannot be considered an error because they weren't able to keep the get the guy in the pickle at any level of baseball, you would think that could work. Here's a long shot to center. Zach Pace has it, a line drive. Woo! Boy, did he hit that hard. And they do call that an error, the overthrow at second. Well, I said they couldn't call it an error, but apparently they do. And we're at time for the 7th inning stretch. The score remains a score of 2-0 San Rafael. It's going to be Daniel Gonzalez, Jake Taylor, and Chase Tucker in the bottom of the 7th. 2-0 San Rafael right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. 2-0 ball game right here on CMCM. Stuart Horn, Alyssa Peterson, your CMCM telecasters for 2016 San Rafael Pacifics baseball. Pretty nice night out here. It's about 62 degrees now, and the temperature is dropping quickly. Daniel Gonzalez is batting, and I don't know who's pitching, although I'm waiting for an announcement now because this is no longer Rob Ellis, as Rob Ellis is not a right-hander. Now, this young man, number 3, we'll find out. Usually the announcement is made overhead, but I've not heard it. And I'm trying to watch the camera here, but when it moves in mid-pitch, it's really hard to figure out what kind of pitch it was. I know that the count is 1-1. That I do know against Daniel Gonzalez, who stands in 1 for 3 on the night. This is chopped back to the pitcher, who takes it himself to the bag, 1 away on a pretty acrobatic play by whoever this pitcher is. And we have no idea, as his number is not on the roster. So the pitcher to be named later, as the wind just really gusted up for the first time tonight. And there's 1 down. Here's Jake Taylor. Taylor 0 for 2 on the night with a walk back in the 3rd, a couple of fly balls, but nothing to show for it. Chase Tucker is on deck. Jake stands in and takes up and in. On the season, Taylor batting .324 over the last week's work, .345 hitting. 1 home run and 7 driven in for the big third baseman. Taylor very close to the plate, way back in the box. Fists one toward third. Picked up by Mejia. On the way. In time. 2 down. Chase Tucker. Our next telecast, everybody, comes 1 week from tonight. Right here on CMCM, Channel 30, Channel 99 on AT&T. 7 o'clock. And we'll have the Pacifics for you that night. 1 week from tonight. That'll be the 16th. Tucker takes a strike. Tucker with 3 driven in, batting .462 over the last week. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning, where the score remains 2-0. Michael Hoba is on deck. Tucker fouls one back and out of play. 0-2. And Tucker's one of those guys, those rare cleanup batters who can not only hit for power, but he's also pretty quick. 4 stolen bags. Leads the team. The next pitch is up and in against Tucker. 1-2. And we'll figure out who this is between the innings. Tucker stands in 1-2. And he fouls it off of home plate. We'll do it again. The 5th pitch of the at-bat coming up. I don't know what the final number for attendance was, but for a Thursday night, it was a pretty good crowd. A week from tonight, when we have our next telecast, Sonoma Stompers will be in the house. And they always draw a big crowd. Here's the 1-2. Got him swinging. So the Pacifics go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And as we go top 8, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters for Pittsburgh. Brandon Williams, Isaac Valdez, and Ian Hagenmiller. Coming up right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back. Leading off for the Diamonds will be Brandon Williams. Williams is 2 for 3 on the night. A single, a double, and a ground out. So he's been hacking. He'll be followed by Isaac Valdez and Ian Hagenmiller here in the top of the 8th inning. It's a 2-0 ball game. There's a soft toss in there from Monzo. And it's indoors. Ball 1. Williams with the hands high and the waggle going, and he really hammered at third base line, but foul, and thankfully for the Pacifics, because that had home run power on it. Yeah, it's hard on our very first night getting used to the different pitchers. Is that Monzo?
Yes, it is Monza.
Thank you. 1-1 now to Williams, who takes a breaking ball and hacks at it. He doesn't take anything. He takes a moment to hack at it is what he did. And it's 1-2. Williams batting .227 over the last week's work, .214 overall. 1 bomb and 2 driven in. Still very early in the season. Only the 7th game of the season. Well, let's see, 7, 8, 9. About the 9th game of the season for the Pittsburghs. And it count runs 2-2. Williams batting in that 5 hole. First chance we've had to see Clint Monzo. That 5.40 ERA. After Conroy went 6.5 strong. Fastball on the outside black is taken. 3-2. So Monzo runs it full here in the top of the 8th inning. You'll notice Monzo, who stands on the mound, a very closed stance for a pitcher. Up and in, and he walked him. Breaking ball.
Now batting for Pittsburgh.
And
10,
Pittsburgh
Isaac Valdez.
will send Isaac Valdez up. Now, the last thing Monzo wants to do is walk the leadoff batter, because 35% of the time, a leadoff walk turns into a run. And that's a very high number in professional baseball. There's a good shot of Monzo's closed stance. Big right-hander delivers something off speed. And it's taken low, ball 1. Isaac Valdez batting .273 over the last week, 200 for the season. Is 2 for 3 on the night. Oh, and now he's just taken one in the ribs. So, hit by batter, or hit batsman, I should say, hit by pitcher. You don't want to get hit by the batter. That really wouldn't be any fun at all.
Throwing the bat.
And Williams moves over to second base.
Number 14.
I was going to say on Isaac Valdez, who now stands at first base, he was the guy who popped the ball up over Danny Gonzalez at shortstop and reached on that strange play back in the 6th inning. Here's Ian Hagenmiller with 2 on and nobody out. And now
Closed, but tickets to future Pacific's home games are
the
still available.
Pacific's
Purchase your Pacific's tickets online
pitching
at
coach Nick DeBar
pacificsbaseball.com.
has come out for a quick word with Monzo, who right now, Monzo does not look like he has any control whatsoever. He ran the count full to Brandon Williams, and ultimately Williams ended up getting the walk. And then on just the second pitch, he whacked Valdez in the ribs, and it wasn't even close. To say it's up and in is an understatement. It was way up and way in. So Valdez at first, Williams the runner at second, and here's Hagenmiller, who's 1 for 3 on the night with a pair of strikeouts. And this gets away a breaking ball, and everybody's going to move up as Lindsay couldn't hold on to it. So a wild pitch moves Williams to third. The wild pitch moves Isaac Valdez to second. And now it's 1-0 against Hagenmiller. Jordan Yallen is on deck. Here's the 1-0. Monzo's got to dig deep right now, or the Pacifics are going to be in jail. Up and in, 2-0. The Diamonds with their best opportunity right now. Hagen Miller, a .267 batter. Only has 1 driven in this season, but a chance for 2 more right here. And he skies one first base side, out of play, 2-1. Hagen Miller batting in the 7 hole. Stands back in. See if Monzo can put it all together here. Runners at second and third. Still no one out. Fastball is taken. I don't know where it missed. 3-1. And Alyssa Monzo's 1 pitch away from getting himself ever deeper in trouble.
You can tell the pressure is definitely on right now with those last 2 wild pitches that he's thrown.
3-1 now. Monzo looks in. Here it is. Low. He walked him. And now they're full.
If the pressure wasn't on before, it definitely is now.
In that circumstance, oftentimes a pitcher will say, look, I have first base open. It's better statistically in certain categories to load the bases and force a double play. Now the force is at home. And here's Jordan Yallen. No, this is Odo pinch hitting. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay, Odo in place of Jordan Yallen. Here in the 8th, and he takes 1-0. Well, Monzo's in a do-or-die spot now. Bases loaded and nobody out. And all of a sudden, Ricky Gonzalez's strike zone just shrank. Gonzalez behind the plate. It looked like a couple of decent pitches, and including the last pitch to Hagen Miller. They were all called balls. Odo stands in from the left side. Up and away, and it's 3-0. And Monzo is dejected. So he's going to walk off the back of the hill and rub up a new ball, or rub up the ball. And now it's 3-0, and there'd be no reason in the world for Odo to even consider swinging in this situation. And he lays one in there, and not close, and he walked him on 4 pitches. And the Pacific's lead was just cut in half. Well, Monzo comes in and walks Brandon Williams. Then he nails Isaac Valdez in the back, walks Hagen Miller, walks Yallen. And now it's a 2-1 game, and here comes Matt Cavanaugh, and that's going to be it for Monzo. You can't go 4 batters in a 2-0 ball game this late in the game and expect anything other than getting yanked, especially with the big slugger Andrew Rubalcava coming up. Rubalcava is one of those guys who'll make you pay in a big way. So the Pacifics are going to bring out a new pitcher as Matt Cavanaugh has made his way to the mound. And we're going to take a very brief break. And when we come back, we'll have the line on the new pitcher right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Well, J.R. Bunda has taken over on the mound.
13, Andrew Rubalcava.
And he's going to have to face the big slugger, Andrew Rubalcava. Bunda, a right-hander. Very interesting story about him. First-year man with San Rafael. Pitching at Portland State 3 years ago. First pitch to Rubalcava is chopped back and foul 0-1. 3 years ago at Portland State, Bunda actually suffered a heart attack, if you can imagine. Resuscitated in the ambulance. But according to Pacific's president and general manager Mike Shapiro, Bunda was declared dead. Fastball is up in the strike zone, but called a strike. 0-2. He was resuscitated and now actually wears a defibrillator and has made it all the way back to professional baseball, which is a little bit different from a pacemaker, but like a mobile defibrillator in case it happens again, if you can imagine that. So Bunda with a curveball over to second base, the play at home, stepped on, got him! A great play by Tucker to Lindsay at home. They get the force out. Somehow Tucker, diving for it, is able to get the high throw, and Lindsay's able to haul it in to get the force against Valdez. So as it turns out, that is the first out as Rubalcava ends up at first base. So a story like that just sort of makes you want to pull a little bit harder for Bunda in my book. One away, and here's Jordan Hinshaw. Oh, and a fastball is swung on and missed. Power on power. Hinshaw 0 for 4 on the night. Next pitch out of Bunda is taken low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, it's a 2-1 ball game after the Pacifics have led for the majority of this thing. But when Monzo came in, he had a really tough time. Hit 1, walked 3, and cut the Pacifics' lead in half. And now the pitch to Hinshaw is taken 2-1. Infield way in for the San Rafaels. Hinshaw looking to get that first knock of the night. 2-1, and Bunda's going to step off. Is that the World Baseball Classic? Okay, so Bunda pitching for the Philippine team in the World Baseball Classic also. There's a chopper to third. Big high grab by Taylor. Steps on third. Over to first. Double play! Taylor with an unbelievable double play. And after all of that, the Pacifics get out of it with another miracle double play. That's too incredible. 10 out of 10 double plays tonight. Hinshaw into a 5-3 double play after Taylor grabbed it and stepped on the bag to end it. Are you kidding?
The way
Well, wait a minute now. He said there was – Mark Carlson just said there was no runs, but there was a 1 run. It's a 2-1 ball game. That I'm sure of. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Alyssa. You had something important to say.
I was just going to say that the way the third base coach ran over, he was not happy about that play at all. He ran over to that umpire.
Well, have you ever seen in a play like that, have you ever seen the opposing team happy about it?
That's true.
Yeah.
I have not.
No, it's very rare. Well, here we are, everybody, in the bottom of the 8th inning, and all of a sudden, when it looked like the Pacifics were in real trouble, and they were up against the wall, but as it turned out, the Pacifics got out of it. Another miracle play, thanks to Jake Taylor, Gillespie on the back end, Lindsay earlier. What an inning it was. And I got to say, Monzo's got to be happy with the defense because all of those runners were on his account. It'll be Mike Alhoba, Ricky Gingras, and Mark Lindsay for San Rafael here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 2-1 ball game, and this is a great one. I cannot imagine fans leaving this game tonight as it turns out. What a great game this has been, especially if San Rafael can hold on. Jeff Lyons has come back out on the mound to throw for Pittsburgh. And we're just going to keep it right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 Pacifics. So there you go. Some interesting lines on Bunda and his health history and the fact that he pitched for the Philippine team in the World Baseball Classic. And so many cool underpinnings to all of these players and the teams and the way these things unfold. As looks like Matt Kavanaugh is out there making a few changes. Hova is definitely going to lead off as he's making his way to the hitting area. And we are ready for Hova now. Ricky Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, is interesting. I've been kind of keeping an eye on him, Alyssa. He's not pulled out the whisk broom yet. He blows off the home plate area with his foot only. He's got the little whisk broom in his pocket, but he's not used it once yet.
Too much work, maybe?
I'm not sure. It's a lot of bending over. Here's Hoba. Hoba with a couple of base knocks, a strikeout, and an RBI will lead things off. He fouls one. No. Just a ball. Just a low ball off a home plate. Ricky Gingras is on deck. Mark Lindsay waiting in the hole. Hoba with his classic stance, wide stance, holds the bat in front of the glove of Isaac Valdez. High fastball is swung on and missed. Or fouled back, 1-1. Pretty temperate. Never got that cold out here. This is suggesting the game ends within the next 45 minutes or so. We'll find out. Can the Pacifics hold on? I'll tell you, that last half inning was not looking like it. But brilliant defense at a very, very high level kept the Pacific lead a score of 2-1. Hova takes high, and it remains, or moves to 2-1. Hova with 7 driven in for the season. Skies one, first base side. Out of play goes Taylor, and he's got it one away. As the wind comes up in a pretty big way, straight over that left field wall. Here's Gingras. Gingras.
My apologies to the Diamonds. They did indeed score a run in the top of the 8th.
Gingras batting from the left side. Has power both ways. So, and talk about the wind coming up. Boy, a big dust devil just came across the outfield. So the umpires have held up play for just a moment. As Jordan Hinshaw is standing out there and the dust is swirling around him. That's got to be tough. Here's Gingras, 0 for 3 on the night, the pair of strikeouts. And he takes up and away, 1-0. Mark Lindsay on deck, 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. San Rafael leads 2-1. Pacific's 3-5. Diamonds are 4-4. And a fastball upstairs, and it's 2-0. Gingras with 1 home run and 3 driven in this season. Batting .308. Jeff Lyons, the big right-hander on the hill, slows everything down. And a breaking ball is swung on and missed. 2-1. Gingras, the DH, standing tall. Here it is. Skied third base side and out of play. 2-2. Well, that was a big hack. And as a baseball fan, I like to see big hacks. I like the big swing. Sometimes the strategy doesn't call for it, but 9 times out of 10, if you're swinging for the fences, I'm usually a happy fan. However, in the case of the Pacifics, it's kind of a different level. If you look at professional baseball, MLB level, that's one thing. But those of us here who work with the Pacifics day in and day out, and you kind of live and die with these minor league teams. Once you start to work with them, 2-2 now to Gingras, second-year man with San Rafael. Lions, kicks, and deals. Breaking ball towards second. Waiting on it is Scholl in time. 2 down. And here's Mark Lindsay, the last chance for the San Rafael here in the bottom of the 8th.
45, Mark Lindsay.
Be nice to get one more insurance run up there, Alyssa, as you got coming up the heart of the order for Pittsburgh and the 2-3-4 batters.
That would be great.
Yeah, it certainly would be. But the Pacifics are down to just one batter now in Lindsay, who is 0 for 2 on the night. No, 1 for 3. Check it. Had a single back in the second inning and takes a strike here. Lindsay's first year with San Rafael, batting 111 coming into tonight's action. That's eked up a little bit as a result of that base knock in the second. Brett Gillespie is on deck. This is chopped to Scholl at second, on to first in time. And the Pacifics go very quietly here in the bottom of the 8th inning, 1-2-3. A couple of nice plays made by the second baseman, Thomas Scholl.
Fans, we want to remind you that Golden Gate
Well, here we go. The last chance for the visiting Diamonds. Here in the top of the 9th inning, it'll be David Kiriakos, Rich Mejia, and Mike Taylor. When we come back, Alyssa and I will have the top of the 9th, 2-1 Pacifics on CMCM's continued coverage of the 2016 San Rafael Pacifics. Be right back. Welcome back, everybody. David Kiriakos is going to lead things off here in the top of the 9th inning. Stuart Orr and Alyssa Peterson in a great game, a 2-1 pitcher's duel. Some incredible defense by San Rafael tonight. Kiriakos stands in. 1 for 3 on the night. Had a walk back in the 5th. He reached on an error then in the 7th. And he takes up and away, ball 1. Next one is laid in there. A high fastball, 2-0. Yeah, number 3. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Bunda, the fastball is, oh no, it's hammered into left. Bakakis came in on it a step, and it went right over his head. I cannot believe Bakakis missed that. On a line shot, it just froze him, and it went right over his head. And I can't imagine what happened. Did he lose it in the lights? I obviously overran it a little bit. Either way, Kiriakos is aboard with a double. And that does not bode well for the San Rafaels.
number 12, Rich Mejia.
Bunda back out there throwing very hard. But Kiriakos just laid into it. Here's Mejia, who's 0 for 3 on the night. A walk back in the first and not much since. There's a high heater taken, 1-0. Well. On what should have been a very easy out for the Pacific's left fielder, Johnny Bakakis. Turns into a bit of a nightmare as it rode right over his head all the way to the wall. There's a fastball across the knees, taken 1-1. Mike Taylor, the big slugger's on deck. And now a ball from the bullpen from Pittsburgh has come out onto the area of play. So they're going to have to slow things down. Bunda, the big right-hander out there, is going to have to gather himself after the error by fastball is lifted first base side and foul, and Bunda is really throwing hard now, Alyssa. Much harder than anybody else tonight.
He's really stepped up his game, especially since last inning. And last inning was an amazing inning.
Agreed. 1-2 now to Mejia, the third baseman. Reach for, and the appeal out to Paul Case, and he said yes, he went around. Strike 3 called, 1 away. Wow, that's a couple of punch-outs tonight called on appeal by Paul Case. Mejia mouthing off on his way back to the dugout, and he was followed in by Ricky Gonzalez, the home plate umpire. You don't get away with much with these guys. Here's Mike Taylor with one away. The tying run at second base. And Bunda bent at the waist, the right arm hanging. Looks in, gets a sign from Lindsay. Now does a double take to Kiriakos back on the bag and delivers a fastball on the outside black. 0-1. Brandon Williams on deck. 1 away. And the tying run at second base. Taylor with a curveball up and in. And he just missed 1-1. Yeah, with that mustache on Taylor, I got to say, if he ever quit baseball, he might have a job in Hollywood.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, he's looking pretty slick. 1-1. Kiriakos way away from the bag at second. Breaking ball is lifted into center, and this is going to get down. Game tied all the way to the wall. Rattles around. Pace comes up with it. Kiriakos scores on the play. Taylor delivers the RBI to tie it up.
That was a beautiful hit right into center field.
Now batting for Pittsburg,
Well,
24, Brandon Williams.
here's Brandon Williams. Mike Taylor is second base. We got a tie game. So for a game that was moving along very, very quickly, has come to a screeching halt. It really came to a screeching halt when Monzo came in. And there it is, a 2-2 ball game. Brandon swings at the first pitch, 0-1. Isaac Valdez is on deck, but with only 1 away. Bundo's got to dig deep. And Taylor at second base. Williams could put another run up with a base knock right here. On the night, Williams is 2 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Taylor away from second, and a breaking ball is swung on and missed. 0-2. And we're definitely going to go to the bottom of the inning now that the score is tied minimally. And perhaps beyond. Valdez on deck. Williams stands in behind 0-2. High fastball rides up. Taken 1-2. 2 runs on 8 hits, 3 errors for the San Rafaels. 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for the visiting Pittsburgh Diamonds. And Diamonds have been tough on the San Rafaels this year. Breaking ball, taking strike 3. No question about it. Delayed call by Ricky Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, but from our angle and the angle that you saw on from CMCM's camera, there's no question about it. Williams didn't like it, but here's Valdez with 2 down. The go-ahead run at second base is Mike Taylor. Bunda's got the hands on the hips. He doesn't like the fact that he gave up the tying run at all. But he's got to make sure that he doesn't, under any circumstance, allow Taylor to come in. Aaron Miles with a quick discussion over there with Ricky Gonzalez. And here's the change. So in place of Valdez will be Sammy Ayala. And while Alyssa is looking up the tendencies for Ayala, that will end the night for Isaac Valdez, who wasn't doing too poorly himself. Ayala takes outside black for a strike. Ayala comes in averaging 381. He's got 2 bombs on the season with 6 RBIs so far. 8 for 21. Holy cow. I'd have brought him in too. Ayala from the left side. Taylor's still out there at second base. Ayala's obviously seeing it very well and indoors. Taking it's 2-1. Ian Hagenmiller's on deck. Bunda has got to get Ayala right here. This is lifted into center, and it gets down for a base hit, and the go-ahead run's going to come in. And Taylor scores. And as it turns out, Ayala nails it into center field, just stroked it. The RBI scores Taylor. And the Pacifics trail now 3-2. And that was just a beautiful piece of hitting, Alyssa. He came in, seeing the ball beautifully, waited for his pitch, and Ayala just drove it into center field deeply enough to get Mike Taylor all the way around from second base. 3-2 now, Pittsburgh leads. Here's Ian Hagenmiller. 1 for 3 on the night. Hagenmiller takes outside black of the check swing. 1 strike on him. Sammy Ayala, the runner over at first base. Pacifics led 2-0 all the way until the 8th inning. And 3 runs, 2 of which have been put up right here in the 9th. 1 in the 8th and 2 right here in the 9th. Next pitch is taken right down the heart to Hagenmiller. 0-2. He struck out twice, a single back in the 4th, and a walk in the 8th. And he got him swinging with a high hard one. Well, as it turns out, 2 runs on 2 hits. And the Pacifics had 1 error, but the Pacifics have 1 chance to get it done. They trail by 1 in this 3-2 ball game. It'll be Gillespie, Bukakis, and Zach Pace here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the good old Santa Fells are going to have to get something done right here, trailing by 3-2 when we come back on CMCM's continued coverage of the 2016, not 15, the 2016 Santa Fe Pacifics. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everybody, to CMCM's continued coverage of the 2016 Santa Fe Pacific. The Pacifics are going to send up Brent Gillespie, Johnny Bukakis, and Zach Pace in this effort to come back. A 3-2 ball game now in favor of the visiting Pittsburgh Diamonds. Seems sort of unthinkable considering it was 2-0 for the entirety of the game, all the way through the 8th inning. And then the Diamonds, who've been getting better and better every year. Whoa, what's going on there? Really brought it there in the top of the 9th especially, and not only did they tie the game, but they managed to get ahead. It's now 3-2. Cool Joe Lewis on the hill. The big right-hander. He's been around the league for a while. Cool Joe. I gave him that nickname back in 2012 when he was playing first base for, I believe it was the Sonoma Stomper. No, he was probably playing for the Lumberjacks at the time. Lumberjacks, of course, were a semi-pro team in part of the league in that very first year. And he didn't like the lights here at Albert Park and decided to wear his sunglasses during a night game. And I couldn't let that go.
He wears his sunglasses at night.
Well, he did one game. And from then on, he was cool Joe Louis, man. 2-1 now to Gillespie here in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Pacifics need runs. They need a base runner at least. And this is sliced foul down the third base line from the left-handed batting Gillespie. 2-2. Gillespie with a pair of bombs and 6 driven in. Reach base back in the 6th with a bunt single. Bakakis waiting in the wings. Gillespie 2-2. Man, I don't know what's making that camera shake like that, but it's not that windy out here. Outside. And the count is full. Well, there you go. Pacifics need a couple of runs to send everybody home happy. Lewis, the big right-hander on the hill, looks in. A full count. And he hammers it past the diving Mejia into left field. And the leadoff batter, Brett Gillespie, is aboard with a leadoff single. Here's Johnny Bakakis. And it looks like a pinch runner is going to come in place to run for Gillespie. And we'll wait for the announcement from Mark Carlson. As Bakakis is definitely going to have a trip to the plate.
Your attention, please. Pinch running at first for your Pacifics. 22, Kyle 80.
So Kyle Adie, a first-year man with San Rafael, will find his way out to the first base bag and pinch run in place of Brett Gillespie. But the Pacifics have a little something going now.
Johnny Bakakis.
Here's Bakakis. Bakakis squares to bunt, and it gets away from Valdez. And 80 moves over to second base. And that's a pass ball because that hit him right in the thumb. That was not close to a wild pitch. Bakakis had the count 1-0. Still nobody out. 80 the runner at second base. The tying run for San Rafael. Zach Pace is on deck. Bakakis stands back in now. Squares again to bunt. Takes low. 2-0. Bakakis wears those hose high like Zach Pace. I think those are the only two guys to do it. I kind of like that look. It's kind of old school if you ask me. Everybody else tends to wear him down. Bakakis as high as he can get him. 2-0. And it squares again and takes. And I don't know if that move upsets the rhythm of cool Joe Louis, but 3 consecutive square to bunt and 3 consecutive balls. And the question is there a correlation? It certainly throws off the rhythm of some pitchers, and he squares again, and this one is taken for a strike, and that looked beautiful. You know, there's something about you were talking earlier, Alyssa, about the snap of the glove when a catcher receives a well-thrown fastball. There's also something about the puff of dust that comes up. There's the square again, and this is low and away, and Bakakis walks, and now the Pacifics have something going. So Kyle 80, the runner at second base. Johnny Bakakis, the runner at first base. And here's Zach Pace. And now a mound visit. And I think Aaron Miles is going to have to yank Cool Joe. At this point, he's got to make a move because I just can't imagine he'd leave him in there. There is action going in the Diamonds bullpen, although the call has not been made. But in looking at Aaron Miles, it looks like he's looking down. There's your bullpen shot. That's a great shot from our CM camera crew. You got the low slinging right-hander. Oh, I don't have. Who's this guy? Number 18. No, we don't have numbers. But the question is, I don't know if he's ready. And it looks like Aaron Miles is going to leave Cool Joe in there for at least one more batter. I can't imagine it's going to last much longer, though. As it turns out, Zach Pace is going to have a chance. Pace with a base knock will tie the game. He squares and lays down a perfect bunt third base side. Picked up by Cool Joe on to first, and everybody moves up one away. There's the sacrifice, and the winning run is now in scoring position. So Pace gets the job done. And here's Daniel Gonzalez. Well, Gonzalez with a knock up the middle in the championship game last year was the hero. So he's been in pressure situations plenty of times. And that's what you got right here. Daniel with a base knock right here to win the game for San Rafael. On the night, Gonzalez is 1 for 4. Statistically, he's due. Heart of the order, Jake Taylor on deck. Daniel stands in. Runners at second and third. Fly ball. Right center, on his horse. It's down, a base hit. That's going to do it. Danny did it again. A walk-off shot. Gonzalez on one pitch into deep right center field, and that's it. Gonzalez with a winner. A double, and officially drives in both AD and Bakakis. And the Pacifics win 4-3. The Diamonds 3 runs on 8 hits with 2 errors. And the Pacifics 4 runs on 10 hits and 3 errors. And Daniel Gonzalez, the hero, gets it done with a line drive. Oh, it was actually more of a long fly ball right to the base of the wall in right center field. And a beautiful way for Pacifics fans to head home with a win. 4-3. Alyssa, your impressions of the game. Do you have a player of the game maybe?
I think the way the Pacifics were able to pull through, even with the Diamonds getting a lead in the 8th inning, it's crazy. It was a crazy game. That was one of the most hectic, chaotic games, yet fun to watch. It was a great game to watch.
It really was a chaotic game. It was a lot of fun. I'm going to say, and usually when I pick a player of the game, I like to go offense. But tonight, my player of the game is Jake Taylor because of his incredible defense. And I think that Taylor's play to end the 8th inning kept the Pacifics in this one. It looked like the Pacifics had no chance to stay in it. And as it turns out, Taylor's incredible play over at third base really kept the Pacifics in it. And it was a joy to watch, and it was a joy to be a part of. So there you go. Well, for Alyssa, yours truly, Stuart Horn signing off, saying so long. Our next telecast will be 1 week from tonight on the 16th. And I can't wait for it. I had a lot of fun tonight. Our first night together with the Pacifics, and you were superb as usual.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I had a good time. So I can't wait to do it again 1 week from tonight. We'll be right here on CMCM's coverage of the 2016 Pacifics. Good night, everybody.